All right, we are live. Let me refresh, make sure you can see us and hear us. I don't see anything yet. Let's see YouTube
Yep, we're
side.
live.
All right, we're good to go. All right, let me see who's here. We'll do some shout outs and then we will get started. Obviously, the B is here. Say what's up.
We ready. We ready. We ready.
All
We got
right.
some new friends that we're about to introduce to you. But what's up, everybody? Good evening.
All right, let me see. All right, introduce our guests. If you want to say what you're doing, who you are, and we'll kick off from there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Ken, for having me here. My name is Clara, and I am the co founder and co CEO of List Perfectly. I am a full time reseller. I was a full time reseller. I resold through my store, The Clothing Vault. I got started with on eBay, and then from eBay, we built the first prototype to Crosspost 5 years ago. And I was able to take all of my eBay listings to Etsy. From Etsy, I was able to take it to my website. And then from my website, I use Pinterest, I use Facebook pages, and Instagram as well. That
Mm.
happened when this perfectly took off in 2019. I have to obviously stop reselling full time, but I am so happy to be always in contact with my community because I miss reselling so much.
Very nice.
There you go, guys. That is Clara. And next, we have our longtime friend. There you go. Take the mic, Doug.
What's up, guys? It's I'm Doug Smith, Snoop Dougie. I am the director of content for List Perfectly. So I manage the podcast, the blog, do a lot of seller outreach with Clara, do a lot of lives and social, and yeah, I love List Perfectly. I love how it works, and I love how connected they are to the seller community, and I love that all the users from the top down are sellers. They use the product, and we're just relatable to the community because we're part of it.
There we go. Snoop Dougie, he's OG now. Snoop Dougie is part of Out Hustled. I mean, Snoop Dougie was out there in San Diego
Yeah,
helping us
Yeah.
out on our
uh,
events and our resale community events. So we appreciate Doug and good to see him here.
yeah, nice to be back. We did Vegas too. We
Mm-hmm.
did
Yep.
eBay Open. So yeah, we've done a bunch of stuff together. So it's good to be back.
All right, let me see. Sneaker Pickers is here. Lucky on Three Legs, Manny Fresh, Fabulous Flamingos, Kevin, Sam Smith, Richard, One Kick Finder, Josh Leva, Poorhouse Picker, Retrospective Gear. I got a bunch of people coming in. Baker Brand, Jimmy, Slim Pickens, Sneakers Envy, Hustle Crow, Mr. Sports LA, Sneaker Flip Find. All right, so more people coming in. We're going to do a Q&A as time goes on this live. So if any questions already, you can drop them in. You can be
Mhm.
one of the first ones there so we can answer it. So let's start off from the very beginning. Now, I use List Perfectly. I know Ken does too.
Mhm.
But what is List Perfectly?
Great question. And this perfectly software that we built initially just as a solution for myself. And I needed software that would be capable of taking my same inventory and take it to different marketplaces through a process called cross posting. And I realized that wasn't enough because I needed also inventory management. Also, I needed image management features. And at the same time, in order to grow my business in the right direction, I needed data analytics, profit and loss, and all those other tools that we made happen for all of our customers that we have unlimited with List Perfectly now.
And I see that, I mean, so let's talk about the platforms too. So Grailed, which I know some people in our chat do
Yep.
use Grailed, which something I probably need to add just because there's, like
Yeah,
a different streetwear marketplace
yeah.
that you could, definitely add there. Obviously, eBay,
Mm-hmm.
Etsy, and Poshmark are going to be, I guess, probably the biggest ones, I would say.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace,
Yes.
Depop,
Yes.
Instagram, so you can
Yeah.
add it on there as well. And then Mercari, which did we mention Mercari? I mean, I'm that's pretty much the main one I'm using it for is Mercari, and now I'm adding Poshmark to it. Shopify on your own website.
Yes.
Um, and then let me see, Kidsian. Did I say that right?
Listen,
Oh, okay. That's a kids marketplace or kids
yes,
fashion.
and
Um,
maternity.
and maternity. Okay, very nice. And when you I guess add it to list perfectly, listing party. What does that do necessarily?
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna defer to Daggy because actually Daggy was partying today. Daggy, what is listing party?
All right. Thank you, Clara. So, I love Listing Party. So, Listing Party is it's in a lot of ways an extension of List Perfectly. It's a community. So, the main part of that are called listing parties. So, there are lives that we have every day of the week, uh, many hours of the day. It's almost 24/7 now. And so, basically, it's other List Perfectly users talking about topics, talking about selling, talking about sourcing, talking about anything. It's not just selling related topics, but it's a place to interact with your fellow sellers, with the List Perfectly team. Um, and it is, in many ways, a community. So you
Right.
can create a profile on there, you can set goals in there, you can list your items in there and link out to the marketplaces where those items are listed at. So technically, people can buy from there and be linked out. Those extra links get you some SEO help. There's also a huge directory on there, so you can interact with other sellers if you need help, marketplace experts, list perfectly users that are also virtual assistants, and just and messaging and chatting, and it's a great resource, and it's one of those things that in a lot of ways it is putting a marketplace with a social platform, but it's basically a community.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I can speak into that because when I started this year, when I re-up my list perfectly again, that's when I said like, hey, how can I import everything to list perfectly the fastest way? So I literally just went to the link, went through my list perfectly, and found Theresa, which was holding a live, and I literally got in there. And this is the beauty of it. I mean, the nice thing of what we do is live, right? We do this every week. They actually have a live every day, correct? Multiple times a day. So in different topics. So basically I found the listing 101 and I just got in there and I got in the call and pretty much said like, hey, I have a question. I'm a newbie. Can you guide me on how to download all my listings from eBay to list perfectly? So Clara, can you talk about the benefits of, because I know Glenn, you cross list Glenn from eBay straight to Mercari, correct?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now,
Oh, nice.
I have been advised and I've been using it to get all my eBay listings and download it to list perfectly. And from
Uh-huh.
list perfectly, that's where you spread it out. So, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Oh, what a great question because I have here Glenn using. That's the thing with List Perfectly. As resellers, when we build it, we know that resellers, we all have our own flow, even though we might sell the same product. So we wanted to give options to our customers and not box you in a certain process to do things. So
Right.
we decided with Amanda, the other co founder, the technical founder of List Perfectly, we decided that we should be able to give you the option of cross posting directly from marketplace to marketplace. No need to import to list perfectly. You just go from marketplace to marketplace, and then you're in charge of managing quantities, inventory, and all those other features that you need to do in order to effectively grow your business. Now, when you and there is not one way that I recommend to do things, okay? Because you can do a hybrid, a combination of things. And now, in your case, you're like, okay, no, I'm going to stick to one process and I want to delegate, the inventory use, inventory management, image management features, like Google Lens. We give you word alert to stay in compliance with listings. And this doesn't happen when you're going from marketplace to marketplace.
Yes.
So let's say that you have PayPal payments accepted, okay, and Mercari, for example, there you go. You're gonna get in trouble. So the different things that we have built in order to fit everybody's different needs. For example, our Pro Plan form, which is longer than the business, okay, plan. That is our $49. It's the business is based on Poshmark, and the pro plan is based on eBay. So we try to do something different for every different seller. And instead of charging per listing, we also decided to charge per features. That's why we came up with the concept of everything unlimited.
So
Yep.
let's see, I guess for example for the chat. So I have the store on eBay, and I was just adding listings. I have like 1,200 listings, and I was like, how am I going to get all these on Mercari first before I start like a Poshmark and do all that? So I did exactly what we just said. I did platform to platform, and to
Yeah.
me that felt a little bit easier for me in my business because I have spreadsheets of like my quantities and everything.
Yeah.
But I think what Ken was kind of saying though, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but let's say I cross listed everything straight to List Perfectly. Now, when it's in List Perfectly, I could do like I could fix my photos on there. I saw there was like a background removal, right?
Mhm.
Like you could
Yeah.
fix that. You can do kind of like more in-depth things rather than straight, across
Yeah.
from one platform to the next. But you can
Yep.
also I think remove, like, if something sells on one platform, it'll remove it from the other one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All you have to do is mark a button that says Mark Sold, and then we'll remove it from all platforms.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's probably one of the
And
things that.
soon you won't even need to do that. So
It'd be
Oh, yeah,
easier.
that's yeah.
will
And
be
and
the
all
first solution to do it. Okay, for non API, they call it, like
yeah.
eBay, Etsy, Shopify. So we'll be the first ones to offer that service for marketplaces like Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, Grail, and the other platforms we support.
Yeah. And I think there's one thing that I want to point out. I just want to show this to the people real quick, which I think has helped me a lot in cross listing. Let me share this screen real quick. Um, and I just want to see, because I think this helped me on my inventory management to know what's listed where, and I think this is valuable to me. If you guys see this, this platforms tab is very helpful, especially when we add Go to the inventory in StockX, right? Because these are two other platforms that we sell on Clara that's not available yet, because it is app
Yeah.
based. But when it sells on Poshmark, I know it shows that it's listed on eBay and vice versa. And I've seen people looking at videos that they have, Grailed, Depop, and all those listed here. So I think that was very valuable for me. And also on your eBay tab, it will show what has been copied,
Yes.
and what needs to be copied. So
Yeah.
I think when you're managing multiple listings, I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing really is like, because you have like those stragglers. We call them stragglers. Like, oh, I listed everything because I list by brand, Nike, Adidas, but I have like some brands that I don't have a lot of, so I could easily scroll through and find what's listed or what's not listed. So I think that was a feature
Yeah.
that was very helpful for my end.
No, absolutely. And the fact that we made it hyperlinks and it takes you to the listing
Oh,
directly.
that is correct. Can I
Uh-huh.
can I show the people that one?
Yeah,
This
go
Yeah.
was
ahead.
this is very interested that you said that, Clara, because for me intuitively I saw it highlighted in blue, right? So
Yeah.
if I click on this, it would actually take me to my Poshmark, which is not getting shared right now because let me share that screen. Let
Yeah.
me see, and it actually jumped to my Poshmark and created another tab, which I can easily delete from there. So
You know why
so
we did that? So when you use LP Mobile, okay, you
mhm.
can, because we don't have, okay, still the D list from LP Mobile. So then you can go on your mobile and then access from there, and we
And
take
it
you
pops
directly
out.
to the listing, and then you can end it as fast as possible.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, Danny. So we have a couple of questions. So the first one, Danny, what's the best way to navigate and list app and website? Now we kind of answered that by not, I guess, I don't, because Ken does it differently than I do. So I guess kind of
Yeah.
like what Clara said, there's not really a right way to do it. It's more of like what you preference your business.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
way that Ken's doing it, I mean, especially the way that you could keep track of your quantity and show you, which platforms it's on. I think that's probably the better way to do it. I mean, I attacked it a different way,
It's
but I
very
do like
always
that
are
way.
good.
Yeah.
Always are good, and you'll get there. You'll know when you want to change, if you want to, because change is not easy, especially when we have to adapt and implement new practices. That's why we were so careful with Amanda not to impose a way of doing things.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
that's I think what's very cool because even because we're so used to different platforms that we use, right? Selling platform, it's the only way, right? And then now two different sellers, Glenn's doing it one way and I'm doing it one way, and we're asking each other like, what's the best way? What's the best way? I
Yeah.
guess ultimately the best way is the system that you create for your own
Yeah.
self that you like the most, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we get to learn from others, but I think what I would bring up to people is like try multiple ways and see
Yeah.
what fits best for you.
Yeah.
I am a very desktop driven person, so
Yeah.
even on my phone, I have a desktop view, and I'll just flip my phone and work it that way. But there's some people that are very mobile driven, and
Yeah.
that's why and it both work, right? Because when you click on it, my desktop view adds another tab,
Yeah.
but when you click on the mobile view, it takes you to that listing. So
Exactly.
it solves the same problem, just different kind of ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say would be the fastest way then to get to
Well,
another platform from, let's say,
here's the
eBay to
thing.
Mercari or
Here's a catch, okay? So the way you're doing it initially is faster, all right?
okay.
But if you when you have to manage inventory, the fact that you have to go to a spreadsheet and start doing all those other
Mm,
manual works, okay, it's going to be more time consuming
mm,
at the end. So what's happening is that, remember how you mentioned the spreadsheets?
mm,
List Perfectly has a capacity of downloading all of your listings into any spreadsheet,
mm,
manager, anything, okay? And that's another thing, that when you're going to do taxes, literally you'll see the first quarter of every year people saying thank you, List Perfectly, because we just literally, you handled that download that you can customize the whole year, so per quarter, and then give it to your tax man. It's already up there, your sale sold price, okay, the cost of your inventory, shipping details. I thought there was a question about if
mm-hmm.
we
There is, yeah.
provide shipping. Yes, we offer the capacity of helping with shipping details as well, with the pro plan that is $69. That's our top plan.
Oh, okay. So that one does have the shipping option. So there's three plans, which
Yes.
we are going to show the plans. But the $69 a month does have a shipping. I guess, can you explain that one a little bit more? Like, what can you do on that shipping side of it for that plan?
So in the shipping part of that plan, okay, we offer the capacity of offering, you can enter the box dimensions. That's important. And then also the most important thing, the zip code, um, things that you might try to use in a way that is going to be easier to implement if you're using business policies, or maybe you're doing the manual or global shipping. That will be very helpful when it comes to expedite your shipping process. So it will transfer that data as you're cross posting.
So we're pretty much trying to make it simplified for the seller to not have to jump around,
Yes,
platform to platform and figure everything out. Just stay in one central place, list
exactly.
perfectly, and get it done. And then you move
Exactly.
on with your day and go
And
source.
then we'll translate that same data that you have in List Perfectly. Let's say in your case, okay, you want to start testing. Don't forget that you can sit down, import 300 listings, go and play video games,
Mm-hmm.
watch a movie, come back, and List Perfectly is doing the import for you. And whether you want to leave the tabs open, or maybe you want to instruct List Perfectly to close the tabs after you finish importing, and the process keeps it's done by itself. And then you can just cross post as is there, but we'll be in charge of sending that data in the right language, okay, to the different marketplaces in the right fields.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think what's worked for me is that, like, once I'm done doing like a good, like 20, 25 listings on eBay, then I'll do the Mercari ones right after that. I think like it's still
Oh,
fresh in my mind. Then I just leave all the tabs open, go ship, and then come back and then
Yeah.
it's already listed, then I could just approve those, and then now I'll add another platform as it goes. I think
Yeah.
that's. I try not to let too many listings go by. When I was trying to catch up, I was
Yeah.
down like 500 listings, and it was gonna take. I was like, man. I mean, even though you're doing them in bulk, it's still gonna take some time. But I think when they're
Yeah.
fresh in your head, you can just like get them done right away. Um,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another thing that I looked at, which I kind of thought about this even before, which was, I guess, compliance when it comes to like eBay and Mercari and stuff. Like, to me, I thought, like, do the platforms care that we're doing this? Do they like this? Is it against a policy? And what, I guess, what do you have to say about any of that stuff? I think, well, reading this, I'm seeing that you don't, because there's a lot of protection there. But how would you explain that? I guess for the people that have those type of questions.
No, that's a great question. So the reason why List Perfectly is perfectly in compliance with all marketplaces is because I don't know if you notice, we don't publish listings on your behalf. Other platforms, you start, the listing in their platform, right? And then when you cross post, already published for you. You don't have a saying. Already chose the category. Everything is done in the back end. With LP, we leave you at the marketplace. You can review the listing and then you publish. So that is important for us. Not only that, we also give you word alerts and features, okay, that you can establish to make sure that you are in compliance. And moreover, okay, thank you, eBay, thank you, Poshmark, Kitties, and Mercari, everybody, okay, because they're going to be, eBay and Poshmark are going to be the sponsors at the event that we're also sponsoring, Camp Listing Party, okay, and I can't wait to tell you the big news that we have announcing coming soon with eBay. So many reasons. I was also interviewed by Griff and Brian in this year at the eBay for Business podcast. Obviously, wouldn't be there if I wasn't in compliance.
And we
Right.
have one question from Intermore for Facebook Marketplace. Can you also cross list to sell in groups or just the main marketplace only?
Good question. The Facebook marketplace only. No, we
Yep.
can't cross post to the groups.
Got it. And then maybe I guess you can manually just cross
Yeah.
post certain items to groups,
I
correct?
believe that there is a feature you can upload a spreadsheet of the listings, maybe to groups. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I
Hmm.
don't know if they took it away or maybe it's on an A/B test. Okay,
Hmm.
but that don't forget that you can download all of your LP listings, and that applies to, for example, Whatnot. That's how people are
Yes.
taking listings to Whatnot because our spreadsheets, okay, include images. So we don't support videos, but include images. So that would be something, and videos coming soon. So there you have it. We can't wait to support video, but
Yeah.
that would be a way to.
Yeah, I think what's really cool, like we talk about, I mean, there are things that are necessary for the business that's not fun. It's really like the spreadsheets and the CSVs, but there's so many columns because I've seen it because I'm gonna start doing it just to
Yeah,
track inventory system because
yeah.
currently I use eBay as my inventory system, right? But
Oh,
now I have everything downloaded to List Perfectly. Now I
yeah,
can focus on List Perfectly.
yeah,
And then, like Glenn said, the quantity will show there.
yeah,
That way, if you're listing it multiple platforms and if you have three or four, then you
yeah.
technically really don't have to take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you can manage that in bulk in the Express editor and
Hmm.
change those values in bulk as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think what's also good is probably to have your own. I mean, you have your backups of the backups. I mean, if List Perfectly is your main one, then you
Yeah,
have your
Yeah.
backup spreadsheets, or even like Ken said, using eBay. I think it's always good to have,
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
backups to
also too,
see.
like we've had some issues, like photos disappearing and stuff like that. Imagine how painful that is, but with List Perfectly, that's pretty much covered because they already have a database for that one.
yes.
So let's talk a little bit about, like, I know, well, Whatnot is not part of at least what we've seen so far in there, but you did mention that through spreadsheets, and also people have been doing Poshmark to
Yeah,
Whatnot on that side.
Yep.
yeah.
What are some other things that we can do on the Whatnot side, or are those kind of like the main ones? And how would we approach that if we wanted to get, I guess, items on there?
No, absolutely. We have actually, Daggy, didn't we do a blog post about it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'll have to look.
But yes, we have a blog post, if I'm not mistaken, about it. So what you do, once you have your list perfectly listings, you have your listings in LP and list perfectly. What you do is there is a feature in which you can go and have a CSV, and it tells you the CSV download, and you can download. That means CSV is just the extension, but it means a spreadsheet, and you can
Yep.
open it with any spreadsheet software manager. And then once you have those listings downloaded, you visit Whatnot, and Whatnot will tell you in what order they
Yep.
want the
Yeah.
columns. So you just gotta adjust, switch a little, okay, the
Yep.
columns to the order they want, and then you can upload 500 listings in
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
minutes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and also too, there is a feature if you're already in Poshmark, which is what we do, um, that you can import everything in your whatnot Poshmark closet to your whatnot, and also
Yeah,
we have done it too with Jambo. I literally had an Air Max 97 sale on overnight for $140 on Jambo, with me not doing anything because
wow,
Jambo I think updates it every 48 hours, so whatever we cross list on Poshmark, it gets cross listed on Jambo as well. So I think this lines up with like our topic last year. How can we prevent a summer slowdown?
yeah,
Again, summer slowdown. Um, at the end of the day, it could be just the revenue total GMV that you're doing every month,
yeah,
right? Like yes, it's gonna slow down, but if you have more eyes and traffic to your item, that's how you could buy. You don't have to buy more products, you just have to spend a little bit more time and cross list your products in multiple categories. So
yeah,
it's just like I look at it, it's like I have a store at this mall in the city, I have another mall in the suburb, I have an international mall located everywhere. And again, I mean, that's e-commerce, right? Everybody can shop 24/7. So there are different buyers that prefer different apps, or they're more active in different apps, and the best way we can do it is just put it in front of them in all of the apps. So it's just hitting, it's like a domino effect. Once you start doing one, and then it's just gonna start moving over to the other one. So chat, if you have any questions, we have Clara and Doug here. Let us know if you have any other questions with regards to List Perfectly. And Glenn?
What would you say is or how would you compare the desktop version to the mobile version?
Oh, thank you for asking, because I get that question. Hey, where do I go to download the Least Perfectly
Mm.
mobile application? And as I always say, we decided to go a different route with Amanda when it comes to this technology. So all you need to do is just open any browser on Android, iPhone, tablet, iPad, or any browser, any. Normally on desktop is just Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. But with LP Mobile and tablets, you can do any browser and just go to simply listperfectly.com. You log in, and there is the access. You can do everything with LP Mobile that you can do with LP Desktop. The only thing you can do is cross post, delist, or mark sold. All right, but
Mhm.
that was the only thing. You can imagine, you can manage images, remove backgrounds, you can do data analytics, you can adjust quantities, you can create listings, edit listings, and so much more, and even express bulk edit listings.
Yep. Danny said it is available in all platform. So I use Android, so I use mine as well.
Yeah.
So you could use it. Intramorph asked, any plans to integrate OfferUp, or is that not possible or not worthy platform for LP right now?
We have yes, we do have a marketplace coming. Okay, always we're always adding new platforms. We're very careful. Okay, we have a feature request. Okay, in which we want to always deliver from our community English perfectly after signing up. You have a feature request in which customers ask us what do they want next. So that's a good question. I've been researching an offer app. I love their growth, and we'll be considering that. Thank you so much, Intramorph.
All right, let me see. So let's talk a little bit about the event coming up, which it's in Phoenix. It's already in what, 2 weeks,
Yep.
more or less. And of course, our boy Ken will be there. And so let me open this real quick and see. Okay, so anybody that's in the chat that's in Phoenix area or might come down for this, you want to explain a little bit of what it is and what they could expect
Yeah, go
from the
ahead,
event?
Daggy.
All right, so I'm excited. I'm super excited about this. So, Camp Listing Party is List Perfectly's first big seller event. It's the first big seller event of the year. The lineup is amazing. The lineup of speakers. It's going to be similar to some events you've been to, but different in a lot of ways too. There's going to be a lot of connection. We're going to have your traditional speakers and big presentations, but we're going to have a lot of one-on-one stuff too. And it's very strategic. So like when we're eating, where we're all eating together, you're going to have speakers sat at tables. You're going to have List Perfectly team members sat at tables so you can interact. So many networking opportunities. We're going to have little like speed panels where you can travel from table to table and ask people about certain topics, certain seller experts in those areas. Then a lot of big YouTubers, a lot of big postures. And so there'll be some names you recognize like the Hustlebee. And so, but tons of opportunities to network. And then there's the important thing to think about though is it's not a List Perfectly conference, it's a seller conference. So obviously there will be some List Perfectly stuff there. There'll be a dedicated area for List Perfectly help or to answer questions or to help you get set up, things like that. But it is a seller conference that all sellers can benefit from. And there's let's just say there'll be a bunch of surprises. We'll be doing some live stuff in Listing Party, so some just some quick going lives from there, some live social media stuff. And it's going to be a great event. And it's the first, and we're going to be doing it from here on. And after the event, we're doing a Thursday bus tour to go thrifting. So that's fun. And meals are included, drinks are included. It's super close to the airport. It's all in one hotel, so you can come and go as you please, take a break. And there's sellers are already doing their own little mini events during this, before and after. There's an app tie-in, so we have a partnership with an app that has been active for months leading up to the event. And so, it's basically an app-based community based around this event. So you'll be able to interact with other attendees before, during, and after. There'll be live stuff in there. You can interact with the speakers during their panels. So, we're very excited. It's going to be a huge event.
Very nice. I already see a couple of things that I like on here. Lunch, reseller Wheel of Fortune. I don't know what that is, but I like that.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Ken the Hustlebee. I mean, there's already 3.
That's right. I mean, 3 you go to.
Yeah, chat. So, I mean, if you guys cannot make it to the event, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I do have some virtual tickets. So that's the cool thing about it. I have some virtual tickets that I'm going to be giving away. So stay tuned. Follow me on IG. I'll make a post about it, and we'll definitely get you some access to some virtual learning. I mean, that's one of the things me and Glenn always talk about. We always got to level up. We always got to learn. We always got to keep learning from other people. Which is what I'm very excited about. If you guys have noticed, everything I've done last year was pretty much, between me and Glenn, was pretty much all sneakers related. At some point, I've learned a lot, but I'm willing to learn from other categories on how they do it on their different niche and specialties.
Yeah, especially the business side, and there's always like something to learn on the business side of things to improve on. So we had you said there was like I guess like a surprise for this? Like a surprise
there will be
announcement?
surprise. There will be a surprise
So
announcement.
the sponsors, I have to say, I am so happy with the sponsors. So eBay, of course, thank you so much. And then we have also big surprises from Poshmark. So for people that are attending in person, Poshmark is coming with a big surprise, and that was really like, they're gonna make you feel special. That's all I can say.
Okay, so I like that the actual platforms will be there, or at least to also support and sponsor. So eBay, Poshmark.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Possible citizen. Possible citizen.
And
All
Glenn,
right.
if we told you the surprises, they wouldn't be surprises.
You know what, Dougie? This that's why we have this man on this show. All right, let me. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the pricing side on.
Yeah,
Currently I'm on the $49 a month. Ken,
great
what
choice.
are
I
you
am on
on?
a pro. I'm on a pro right now.
Oh, way to
Yeah,
step
because
up.
I'm
This boy's a
waiting for that
pro.
auto delisting tool, and I'm just trying to use all. I mean, you know me, I try everything. I've used simple, I've used business, so I'm now
Oh,
currently on the pro. So
mm,
I mean, they might be able to tell us a little bit more about the differences, but it has been highly suggested because of the fact of when you're doing and dealing with so many listings.
Yeah. So all of the plans will offer you unlimited cross posting to all marketplaces. That's it. It's not that
Right.
there is a limit of how many you can cross post, import, delist. Everything comes included. Delisting, listing from mobile, from desktop, marking sold, templates. Okay, all of that is unlimited with all of the plans. Now, if you remember, now Glenn, he likes to start listing in marketplaces. And now Ken is getting more used to start listing in List Perfectly. He imported his listings. Therefore, that's why we always recommend try the simple and the business. If you really love listing from marketplaces, start there. Okay. No need to start your listings in LP. But if you're ready to for what's coming and really go aggressively to grow your business, definitely the pro plan and starting your listings, or even the business plan, starting your listings on the business plan, it's a great choice. Like I said, the business plan is more inspired, like in the Poshmark listing form,
mm,
whereas the pro plan is more inspired on the eBay listing form. That's why the pro plan is so well compatible with eBay. And then business is the most selected one for like what we call our starter sellers, which is 2,000 listings and less.
mm. Okay, because that's probably like one of the biggest questions I get is like how many listings should I have to really, I guess, invest in this or look into using this? And I mean, I don't think you
From
need
the
a
beginning.
right. Yeah, I don't think you need a right answer. I think if you want more eyes on your
Yep.
listings, you want more sales in that way because you're gonna be on different platforms, then you should start now.
Yeah.
But very for the people that are, listing every day, that's really important. I mean, you're planning on
Oh,
growing. I mean. Oh,
and
go
did you
ahead.
see down there under the demos where it says simple, business, and pro? You can see in green. In green, it says not sure which plan is right for you. You
Mm,
can click on the plan advisor.
okay, we start with like questions and stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
saving time, saving money. Which, I mean, okay, so you can kind of go through that, and it'll kind of lead you on to what makes sense. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now here's
Thank
everything, the full breakdown,
you.
on what all of them have to offer,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of different things that you really have to go through and see. Now, Ken's a pro, so he's right here at the pro level.
Yeah.
um and the cross post unlimited listings, which I think that's really important too, because I know some people are probably thinking, is it like 10 cents a listing or is it 50
Mhm.
cent? No, they're just
No.
unlimited. You just keep cross posting, keep cross listing until you're all done. And the more you list every day, keep them going across all platforms. Let me see, Ken, anything you want to add on? Or what made you do the pro rather than the business, I may
Mm.
ask?
Yeah, I think the biggest is like the shipping weight. I think that's the one of the things that
Mm.
that helps a lot. And also too the if you scroll down, obviously the bulk cross post. I think the biggest thing was like the keyword suggestion. And I think
Mm.
that's one of the things that we have to double check our titles. So obviously when you get into a little bit more, um, if you want to have an edge, I think that's pretty much right in the sneaker category. Keywords would really makes a lot of sense. uh, and it's just, again, I mean, I'm just trying to squeeze as much as I can out of like the features that they have. So I mean, even Clara told me, it's like, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. and that's very no pressure. I think that's what I like the most. And I like that we're all learning towards figuring out what works best for a business. So I think that's one of the things that helped me the most. Again, draft, I think that's one of the things too, the
Oh, yeah.
drafting. I think that's one of the biggest thing, because building, I've tried it, listing and list perfectly, but even us, it's like you can do it that way or you can do it the same way. I mean, we're so accustomed to an eBay type of format, and especially with sneakers, eBay has very really good what do you call that, suggestions, right? And those are the things that perfectly can capture all of those details for the next platform. It is a lot more complete. So that's why, like, if you scroll up there, the shipping and all those weight will be translated to different platform.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see. So I think we have a question though from Danny. Danny says, so start listing new items if you get pro, then convert from eBay or other platforms or existing items
Mhm. So
Um,
Danny, so what I do is I still create everything on eBay, but you can
first.
do creating it on list perfectly.
Yeah.
I just create everything on eBay because it has a lot more fields. So the more fields it happens, and then once I import it to list perfectly, you could literally, like what Clara said, I do 200 listings at a time, and there's no way I could do 200 listings in one day, right? So for me, we have a cycle that every week, what's not cross listed, we just import it to list perfectly. So Clara, anything to add on that one?
I would say all plans will let you start listing, okay, new items on List Perfectly or in the marketplace. So you'll decide what's best.
Mm.
I prefer to start in LP because I want to save the step of the importing from
Yeah.
eBay. What we've done is, and I can't wait to show you, but I'm waiting patiently. What we do best is that you can take your LP basic listing and then merge it with a cell similar from eBay. So you keep the item specifics already from the item that you have on eBay, but you're putting your images, your title, and overriding the right specifics. So that's going to be the next step that I want to show you why LP plays so well with the artificial intelligence or the suggestions that eBay does. So that's what we did. But starting on eBay and then importing to LP, that's another great way to do it. The thing is that we will not import those item specifics that are not compatible with other marketplaces.
Okay.
and let me give you a quick tip. So I
Yeah.
start, and a lot of users do. So I list from within List Perfectly because I like to have everything in there, central hub, track everything, have that backup. I start all my listings on my phone. So I take the pictures, and you can edit the pictures. So basically what I do is I do my photos, and I do like a basic title, maybe some pricing information, and it saves so much time to do it that way. You can remove the backgrounds as you go, and then you save it as a draft, and then I go and I have all my drafts. I'll go into List Perfectly and finish them up on desktop, and then cross post from there.
Mm.
And that so
Okay.
that's also the beauty of that, that mobile friendly website and
Mhm.
List Perfectly mobile.
So we have a question says, so given the different platform allow different number of characters in the title, how does list perfectly handle it? Does it just pick the smallest number of the characters allowed? Because we've experienced that, Glenn, right? I'm sure you've experienced that when you cross this from marketplace to marketplace. How does that work, Clara?
Yeah, so what we will do is obviously we will cut off. Every marketplace have different maximum amount of characters that they will allow on title. So we'll cut off when they tell us, okay, that there
Mhm.
is no more space, okay, for that. So I will always recommend to put the most important keywords first. But in the pro plan, we show you how your title will look And I think in the, let me see. Oh, no, in the business too. Yes. Oh, in all plans, actually, I think we show you how the titles will look, okay, in different marketplaces. I don't remember, maybe on the, I haven't, okay. Glenn, I can't remember in the, if the business plan shows, but we have, for sure in the pro plan, we show how the titles look, if that's, but I'm pretty sure in the business as well.
Okay, so we have a question for sneakers. Will StockX or Goat be compatible in the future? Um, I guess that's for us to tell them and suggest to them that maybe we can add it. We just need
Absolutely.
more sneaker sellers in List Perfectly.
Yes, absolutely.
So I will say too, though, is we do have what's called a custom marketplace feature. So if you've got all your stuff listed within the catalog and list perfectly, for tracking metrics and analytics purposes, you could add StockX or you could add Goat and track your sales in there. You do it manually, and it'll tie into your metrics and analytics that you can download and track and all that.
Oh, okay, which will be right here on
Yeah.
on this section. A little bit more on the pro title keyword suggestions. Now I'm interested in since Ken mentioned it, I was like,
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit more on what that has to offer?
So there is different ways that we do pro title and keyword suggestions. One, okay, is with the logic and the our AI that List Perfectly has.
Mm.
In another one is we use Google Lens. So Google Lens is integrated into the List Perfectly Pro plan. So when you create the listing in LP without leaving List Perfectly, we already give you, okay, the keyword suggestions, pricing suggestions, title suggestions, and so many things that Google Lens will help you to optimize the listing. And you can see it on the right side. It's going to give you all the different suggestions without leaving the LP platform. So that's an incredible way that will help you. Or you can use the title suggestion and like Ken does it, the keyword suggestions and so forth on the same listing flow.
Okay. Well, it's good to know because I was a good thing we have you on because I was
Yeah.
like I felt like I wasn't utilizing everything that it has to offer because I know there's a lot and I was like I know I'm just cross listing to the another marketplace.
Yeah.
But this is good to see the breakdown because there's some things that I probably should be and can be using now. And
Yeah.
then seeing what Doug's saying, like he's doing more mobile, and then I'm doing more cross to marketplace. Ken's doing a full pro version and straight to the database, so that's good.
Yeah.
Let me see. Any other questions? You can throw them in.
Yeah. Let's see.
And
Clara,
then, real quick,
Doug.
if you are importing into List Perfectly, it's best to do it from eBay because they've got the most information that's
The
going to
most
come
info.
over.
Yeah.
And like Mercari's much less information. So if you're pulling in, if you can pull from eBay into List Perfectly, and it'll populate all those fields for you for your listing.
Yeah, I think sometimes eBay gets a little crazy on the item specifics, which we've
Yeah.
talked about that before too. I'm like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, some of them get a little wild. Like one of them character, I was like Mickey Mouse on one of the shoes. I'm like, that's not even a right character.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
And also too for any reference, maybe we can drop the YouTube link, Glenn. I've watched the same way I've watched hustler hacks on how to sell on how to buy sneakers on Ross. It's the same thing I've learned how to do it on List Perfectly. Danny said learning curve time typically, right? So I'll give my take. It took us 2 weeks because I'm a bee. I'm always buzzing around, so I cannot keep still. So that it took us 2 weeks to get acclimated to everything. Now it's pretty much automatic. So what do you think, Clara and Doug?
It really depends. If you're going to go, obviously, with a simple plan, we have observed that the learning curve is 15 minutes because if you're already listed, okay, on eBay or Mercari, well, if you're already listed on eBay, okay, you're a pro, all right? But if you're already listed on Mercari and Poshmark, okay, the simple plan is really easy. It takes usually 15 to 30 minutes. If we have maybe a senior segment, okay, onboarding, usually they have onboarding sessions, okay, but usually the with the business plan, we have people importing, and literally within 45 minutes, the pro plan is the one that would take sometimes a day to, to really understand all the options that gives you, so you can make the right choices to where get started.
And then I would say too is, I agree with Clara. It kind of depends on your level, like where you're selling, your knowledge. But also, we have so many free resources available, like our YouTube videos, our weekly lives. Ken, you mentioned Teresa Cox's Listing 101
Yep,
list
that's
party,
what it was.
Facebook group, the blog, the podcast. So many
Yeah.
resources, and the people are different. Some people need help, so you can set up a video call with our support team 24/7, 365 days a year. There's
Yeah.
no auto. It's real people, real sellers, real List Perfectly users, and it depends on how you learn, and
Mhm.
just all these free resources across the.
Yeah, I think the cool part is like even before I had a talk with Clara or anything like that. I just had a plan, and I was like, how can I fully optimize this? And the person I can think of that has a lot more listings than I am was Teresa Cox, and I was like, if she can manage it, like I can manage it too.
Yeah.
So I literally went onto their website and then just found the listing 101, and I just said, "Hey, I have a question." And next thing you know, I have three or four people helping me how to navigate it and showing me the tips and tricks of like you need to click this, you need to do that. 200 will be optimized, and they were telling me like just click 200, import 200, and sleep, and then wake up the next day. I'm like, nah, that's not right. And then I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And then I did it, and it was like, wow. So I
Yeah.
imported 900, 1,000 listings within a day because it was like, I think it took me 15, 20 minutes per 200 batch. So now
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to maintain now that everything is cross listed. And
Yeah.
especially also to because we're in Whatnot, Glenn, one of the benefits that I like with having everything downloaded on this perfectly is whatever I sell on Whatnot, I literally just search on List Perfectly at the end of our show
Mm.
Oh,
on Whatnot because sometimes stuff don't sell on Whatnot, so you don't want to take down listings before it
mm,
sells. So I sell everything on Whatnot, and I just go look at what sold on Whatnot, and I just type it on List Perfectly, and then just click it one by one, and it opens the tab, and then end it from there.
yeah.
Mm.
And then, real quick, since you have pricing up here, and we're talking about the plans and the different levels, and we know there are other options out there, but we're always clear with our pricing and our plans, and everything's unlimited. We're not going to do a bait and switch with you. Like if you go to a steakhouse and you want a steak, then you got to go, do you want a potato? Do you want a salad? Do you want a vegetables? I think if I go to a steakhouse, I think I should have everything included on the plate. And we're not going to upsell you. We're not going to be like, oh, if you want to do this, you got to pay for
Mhm.
more listings. Everything's unlimited. And that's
Yep.
just, that's one of the challenges with other options out there. I think it's a
Intramorph
bait
has a question.
and
Can
switch.
you upgrade plans while you're in the middle of a lower
Yes.
plan that you already played for?
Oh, my favorite question. Yes. And we're the only service that even if you downgrade, okay, we'll prorate the balance so you don't lose a
Oh
penny.
wow.
Uh-huh.
That's
So
so
you don't
you're
lose a
not
penny.
locked in. I was like, oh, it's 29.99
No.
if you sign up for a year.
No,
That
so then let's say you did 1 week of the pro plan, and now you're
Yep.
like, it's too long, I want to switch to the business. So what we'll do is give you when upon you close a pro and you open the business, that's translated into days of credit on the
Yep.
business plan, and that might cover even your whole reminder of the month, and something else.
That's good.
So we
That's good.
didn't want it anybody to lose a penny. That's a difference when you don't have investors and it's just us resellers. We can do this. Like, for example, with the 50 free listings. Yes, we might not have a free plan, but literally you get 50 free listings, no expiration dates, no watermarks, no spam, and it's money back guarantee, and we do it right away. You can approve yourself the refund. So that's something that I want to emphasize. There is no need to be waiting for rollover listings or anything like that. You get it 5 days or 50 free listings.
Mm.
All right, and
Nice.
there you have it, chat. And I also have a coupon code, and you can use my coupon code and save 30% off by using the Hustle Bee. So there you go. I mean, I actually use eBay Princess's code when I got in.
Ah,
Because she cross lists a lot. She cross
yeah.
lists everything.
eBay Princess, she's everywhere. She's
Yeah.
dominating whatnot. She's
Oh
on
yes,
all
the
day.
in LP, yes, it's a tax write-off. I just didn't want to forget. They're asking this. These services.
Yes, correct. Yes. So the more tax write off, the better.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Going back to Danny's question on like the curve time. So let me tell you what happened when I got List Perfectly. I didn't jump into like any videos or go to a listing party or figure out anything. I just saw, hey, I can cross list. Let me try one. I tried one, and then it was like, what? It's already doing it, and then
Yeah,
it was
you
already
just did a
gone. It was
tab, right? You
yeah, it
open
was
the
literally
tab.
like seconds, and it was done. And I was like, oh man, I could do this in bulk, and then I just did it in bulk, and I was like, now like 10 of them are done, and then I was it. Like I didn't have to. Well, that's probably why. Also, I mean, I just went quick, and then Ken did a different version. But I like that there's different ways to do this. So let me
In
see, Intramorph.
Intramorph, is the code good indefinitely? Any percentage of plan, correct, Clara? Yeah, it's good. It's always good. Gonna be good.
Yes, and you can use the 30%, for example. Let's say that Intramorph signs up today for the Pro plan, all right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I want to use, okay, the Hasselby code. Let me see if I can try for the business plan. Yes, you can. So you can use the 30% off the Hasselby discount code once per plan. And we did this so you're not boxing a plan. I want you to try
Oh, that
all
is
the
nice. So
plans and you
one
decide
code per plan. That is good. It's not one per account. That's
no.
no. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Oh, you're welcome. We want
Very good.
people to find the plan that is best for them.
All right. Any other questions? Throw those in. I can remove this, and then Ken, he's excited for his event. Anything else going on? Ken, you want to throw in for the event?
I think one of the things that I know is I'm gonna be in a panel with Clara, and that's gonna be exciting. And also, I'm gonna
Super.
have a session, a more in-depth session. So I think I'm very excited. Just to be out there again, to be in a different industry. But we all are pretty much e-commerce sellers, so just learning from each other.
Rally Roots, Rockstar, very familiar
Mhm.
names that we know and love and met them, many years ago. Then they're also going to be there as well. Um, Dougie, anything else?
No, I'll tell you. You guys have known me for a long time, and I'll tell you why I came on with List Perfectly. I had this idea for a podcast. Clara jumped on it and said she wanted it, but before that, I'd heard about him from other sellers, and I came in and I took a look. I did my research. I saw that they had the community aspect. I saw that they answered questions. Clara does lives, multiple lives a week across the board. She puts herself out there, does lives like this, answers questions live. That's not easy to do. And what I really love too is it's one of these things where I was surprised to find out that the founders were super experienced sellers. So they've
Yep.
done it all from scratch. They've seen it all. They're not just the example I give. So first of all, I'll say I know that other options out there, the guys that run those are programmer guys who came in and they saw an opportunity. It's kind of like, and no offense, but like at eBay, the CEOs like Devin Wenig was a business guy. He wasn't a seller. He didn't sell until he came to eBay. So you've got a company that's got accessible CEOs. You've got a company that's got the whole team that are sellers of different levels. I mean, obviously, I'm no Teresa Cox.
Mhm.
I sell, so
Yep.
we all can relate there. We've got the 24/7 support. We listen to the community. We've literally had suggested changes that we've implemented within a couple days. So, and we're not a tiny company, but we're not a giant company. So somebody suggests something, it goes all the way to the top and they see it. And then the other thing I really, really love is how involved we are in seller events. So
Right.
this year we've done multiple big seller events, little seller events, traveling around the country. It's called the Listing Party in the USA tour. So we're going to all these different cities, meeting with sellers. And again, it's like a seller event. Yeah, we talk about List Perfectly, but it's also we can answer your seller questions. We have all those free resources. We're doing the big seller event season is starting, and we're pretty much launching it. We're involved in all the big seller events coming up, and I mean all of them. So if you see it, we're involved in it. We're
Yep. Well,
and that's
and
why
also too, I guess something that it's a question that we've been asked multiple times. When is Out Hustled coming again? Well, we have a special announcement that Clara pretty much has told me that Ken, tell me when and where, and we'll support your Out Hustled. And this is literally the first company that just said that openly with not even asking a proposal. Because you know how hard it is with people, because like it's just they don't see why we do what we do. and
Exactly.
and when Clara has heard about the Out Hustled and Doug being present with one of our Out Hustled, so drop what city you want our first Out Hustled in 2023 is gonna be. We are gonna make it happen. I think that was one of the biggest hurdle for last for when we did it in that span of year, and I think we are ready. And with more experience this time. Somebody said Dallas, love it. Everyone would benefit from Out Hustled. Yes, I think throughout when was the last time we did it? Was it not 2019?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
So
wow.
2019. So
yeah,
it's
so
been
it's
a
it's
Wow.
been
while.
it's been a while. Me and Glenn's a little bit more seasoned and more experienced now, so there's definitely different things that we can add and bring. So I think that's one of the things that I appreciate you guys and support you guys so much, because before you asked me to do something, you already committed that you were gonna support our cause. So yes, Sneakers Envy said, "How about we drive coast to coast?" It's a possibility. We have New York, Denver. Oh, may I ask what is Out Hustled? So, Glenn, explain what is Out Hustled.
So at Hustled, we started off by just going to other cities to source and show like what's in your area when it comes to sourcing on
Yeah.
stores or most of it being like retail arb. And then we kind of went to like vlogging the sourcing part into a workshop and a meetup, and we did
Mhm,
like a close meetup the day before. We're able to like hang out, and then like a small group of sellers, and then the next
mhm.
day we had the actual event where we
Yep.
had full presentations of what we did to grow our businesses. And then with Doug being there, we had like giveaways. We had like
Mhm.
Dymo print. We were giving away like different stuff, so it was
Yep.
really cool. But we did our main, I guess, bigger one in San Diego. That was our last one before obviously 2020, and then
Mhm.
after
Yeah.
that. But now, you know,
Yeah, it's definitely I would say a workshop on steroids, because it is coming from Glenn's experience and my experience of how we pretty much have took it to the next level. And we want other people to take, I've heard this. It says success leaves clues, and pretty much workshops like this are clues that we're going to be giving away. And pretty much, once we partner with List Perfectly, it's going to be so much value to people, because we want you guys to win the same way why Clara and List Perfectly has been invented, basically, is to get our products to more eyes. That's it. To get our products to sell more. So that is the reason why we do what we do. And when Clara got the vision and she was on board, and next thing you know, I was in conversation. We're like, wait, like that easy to have a conversation with a CEO that wants to support our cause. So yes, I think moving forward, this is going to be a very fruitful partnership, because we believe in each other and we use each other's product.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Wow. Thank you.
Yep,
Well said.
yep,
all
yep.
right,
Well,
Clara,
Clara,
any
any
last
last
before we
last
go?
words? Yep.
All right. So big things coming. And again, thank you, Glenn, and thank you, Ken, but big things coming for List Perfectly, and that we're gonna be announcing the fourth plan of List Perfectly is gonna be coming soon. And that's gonna be very, very, very everything that everybody's been asking for. And I can't wait to announce that to and deliver to the community.
For
All
sure, for
right, very
sure.
nice. Well, I learned a lot, which that's also good because I wanted to see the plans, the differences, and it's good to know what I could be using now. So, all right, I appreciate Clara and of course Dougie for being here.
Thanks.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next Wednesday live as usual. And then I think Ken will be on Whatnot tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Today or
Now
tomorrow?
we're doing an eBay live tomorrow. It
Oh,
will be one of
eBay
our biggest
Live.
show on eBay live tomorrow. There will
Nice.
be a big push notification. So
Uh-huh.
be there, support, combat the trolls because the trolls are gonna come.
What
But
time, Ken? I would love to see you. What time is going to be the
yeah,
live, please?
it will be 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Yep,
All
yep,
right,
yep.
eBay
So
Live. Okay, well, we'll definitely be there. We'll fight those trolls.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. Never settle.
All right, see ya. Go out and
All
get
right.
it. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Thanks, guys.